Okay, I'm going to try to talk louder today because I've been told I don't speak loud enough into the microphone, so we're going to give that a try. Hopefully the audio levels are going to be good today. I don't even freaking know anymore. But I'll be checking. So game levels hopefully are not too loud. Hopefully no echoes when we hear ATC. I'm right on this mic. Literally 2.5 to 3 inches away. Just for a reference point, the TKB hat, the Kids Bakery, not a sponsor, but oh my god, what great sandwiches. Best sandwiches in the Coachella Valley. And if you guys are watching, which I know you're not, but I'll let you know that you were streamed with the hat, so there you go. TKB on Golf Center Drive in India. Owner gave me this hat because I'm a regular. I'm irregular. Okay, so we're going to do Barcelona to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. So I don't see Barcelona here. LEBL. And we're scheduled or expecting runway 24 left. Ooh, that's a short runway. Okay. Let's get some parking close by. I've parked there before, it's a pain. We'll try it anyway. Gate 164, Barcelona, LABL, 24 left departure. So let's go in cold and dark. Hopefully the game audio is not too loud. And I don't have my engineer phone with me, so give me a sec. A little headphone adjustment with the TKB hat. So this is a pretty sensitive mic. This should be good. These levels, I don't know. I don't even know. Little teeny bit of reverb on it. Let's see if we've got echo on ATC. Nighttime. Let's go temporarily to daytime. And we'll leave that open and come back. I want to take a look and see what's going on here at this gate. Yeah, Barcelona's got jetways with no terminal. It's freaking amazing. We're going to go here. I can't really do that. Let's look here this way. So 24 left. I want to go nose right for this departure. Yeah, we're going to go nose right. Look at that. Jetways with no terminal. Marvelous. So we're going to go nose right. So let's go ahead and set that up in showcase just for the hell of it. There we go. That's just a reminder which way we're going to go. Trying to get situated here in the studio. And let's power this baby up. Battery on. Cover closed. Chime tests. Didn't really hear anything. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and get ground power. Let's do this while we're at it. I like to set up departure on this EFB and arrival on the other. And while we're in the neighborhood, we can check oxygen, I suppose.
Barcelona ground, Speedbird 481 Heavy, requesting pushback. Speedbird 481 Heavy pushback request accepted.
We got that out of the way. Alright, let's get some power. Okay, headphones are awkward. And I notice that we have ATC showing up. And it shouldn't. There we go.
Barcelona ground, Speedbird 481 Heavy with Whiskey, ready to taxi IFR. Speedbird 481 Heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 24 right via taxiway Echo 4 Mike 5 cross runway 02 Mike 4 Mike 3 Mike 2 Mike 1. Contact tower on 122.1 when ready.
Got a little sidetrack there. I did not get clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 24 right via taxiway Echo 4 Mike 5 cross runway 02 Mike 4 Mike 3 Mike 2 Mike 1 Speedbird 481 Heavy.
Wonder why it's not recognizing me. That's interesting. We're going to want 24 left, not right. Ground power. And nav. IRS left and right. Set the display. Let's go through the whole shamil. Checking the flaps. Stall warning test. Airspeed test. We're going to put the dome light on because we will be in the dark. Okay. While I'm up there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip the electrics on. And now I'm going to go to doors. Doors open. Stairs are attached. We can board. I think we can board. We're boarding with stairs. We want 80 passengers. And yeah, we can start to board. Currently there's 160 on the aircraft. We're going to take 80 off. Okay, now we can get to doing some business here. FMC. Let's set the IRS positioning. So you go to pause init. Next page, GPS left. That brought up our position. Previous page, enter here. Next step will be your route. We'll do flight plan request. And here we can see Barcelona to Paris on SimBrief. Select the route. Flight plan request. Wait for the load. Hit load. Uplink up is
Barcelona
loading.
ground Boeing 8311 Heavy requesting pushback. Boeing 8311 Heavy pushback request accepted.
Activate. Execute. That's good. You can see here we have LABL to Paris, floor flight number filed per the flight plan in SimBrief. American Airlines 4409. My normal call signal. Call sign. Let's jump over to perf init. And we have 6,000 feet for transition altitude. We'll enter that now. Hey Cheech. Dog just came in. So 6,000 feet. Kind of keep an eye on him because he likes to munch on the carpet. Good boy. Alright, 6,000 feet. Transition altitude. Let's go ahead and do our perf init request.
Barcelona ground Boeing 8311 Heavy requesting the end of pushback. Boeing 8311 Heavy request to end pushback received.
We do have traffic set on this today. So let's go ahead now and load the uplink. Execute.
Barcelona ground Boeing 8311 Heavy with whiskey ready to taxi IFR. Boeing 8311 Heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 24 right via taxiway Echo 4 Mike 5 cross runway 02 Mike 4 Mike 3 Mike 2 Mike 1.
Plan
Contact
fuel.
tower on 122.1 when ready.
Flying fuel is 14.1 per the flight plan.
Taxi to and hold short runway 24 right, using taxiway Echo 4 Mike Mike 5 cross runway 02 Mike 4 Mike tree, Mike 2 Mike 1, falling 8 tree 11 heavy.
Will burn 7,200 pounds. And we got 14,000 plus pounds. 14,147 pounds for the plan. Actually, I have 25,000 pounds on board. That can be confusing, but I just use the numbers off the sim brief. Alright, while we're in perf init, we'll go ahead and we'll set our departure and arrival information. Now we're going to request departure to the north.
Barcelona ground ALB 5510 with Whiskey request taxi for takeoff departure to the north.
ALB 5510 taxi to and hold short of runway 24 left via taxiway, Juliet 5 Juliet 6 Juliet 7 Kilo 7 cross runway 02 Kilo 6 Kilo 5 Kilo 4 Kilo tree, Kilo 2 golf tree.
You go ahead and
Contact tower on 118.105 when ready.
you go ahead and try to taxi on that. We have the taxi ribbons up.
Taxi to and hold short runway 24 left via taxiway Juliet 5 Juliet 6 Juliet 7 Kilo 7 cross runway 02 Kilo 6 Kilo 5 Kilo 4 Kilo tree Kilo 2 golf tree ALB 5510.
Yeah, okay. We're not going to follow that. We're just going to follow the ribbons, which will go to that automatically. Okay, so we did push departure and arrival button, which took us to this page. We verified runway 24 left. Sorry, bumping into the mic. Chatting with the producer. He says it sounds good. So anyways, here we are, runway 24 left. ALOX 2Q will be the SID. ALOX 2Q. I'm hoping that the game isn't too loud once I start to run the jets, but okay. So that's our takeoff standard instrument departure route. Let's go back and hit departure arrival one more time. LFPG arrival. We're looking for 9 left, expecting 9 left ILS. Kepe 9W. Transition. Kepe 9W. And we can see that based on the stars, the standard arrivals, that my database is up to date with SimBrief. We'll execute now. And we'll go to legs. In legs, we're going to hit route data. Wind request. And we're going to input the wind information. Alright, we've got it loaded now. Let's load. Execute. Now those winds are in. For the forecast, we have to go to descent. Hit the forecast. And let's get the QNH for arrival. QNH for arrival will be, and it may change, but it's going to be 2965. So we're going to put that in. 29.65. And that goes in right here. Now we execute and load. Execute again, and we have our flight descent winds. Okay, good. So all of our winds are in. Let's go back to legs. And now what we're going to do is we're going to check for discontinuities in the plan. So even if I'm off the mic, I'm curious about how that sounds from back here, 4 inches, where it's where I'm supposed to be. Checking with producer Andy right now. Okay, so paging through. There's a disco. Looks like it's on on the way down. And we're going to click on the waypoint after the disco and plug it in. There it is. When you click on the waypoint, it appears down here, it copies it. Now we're going to paste it just by clicking here. Disco goes away, hit execute, and now we have no disco there. Runway 9L. You can see all of our altitudes are in. When we go to the start, you hit legs, goes back up to the beginning. Our transition altitude, I believe, was 6,000, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm not sure why this is showing like that. Let's find out where our top altitude is.
Barcelona ground Mercair 7525 heavy, requesting pushback.
370.
Mercair 7525 heavy pushback, request accepted.
So let's enter that in now, 370. So if you're wondering where to get this stuff, this is our pressurization. We're going to go up to 370. And for now I'm going to leave that at 0 because I don't know our landing altitude. I kind of know. We'll look in a minute. Okay, so we look like we're good there. Let's go ahead and set our fix for LFPG. LFPG goes right here, and the fix rings will show us how far we are out when we're on approach. So we go slash 10 miles. You can put anything. Oops. You can put slash 3 miles if you want, but I'm going to put slash 10 for our first ring. Slash 20.
Barcelona ground
Ring.
Mercair 7525 heavy, requesting the end of pushback.
I don't know if we can get 30. Let's try
Mercair
it.
7525 heavy, request to end pushback received.
30 miles out, 20 miles out, 10 miles out, and we'll see rings. And I'll show you that right now.
Barcelona ground Mercair
How do you know you got it?
7525 heavy with whiskey, ready to taxi IFR. Mercair 7525 heavy taxi to and hold short of runway 24 left, using taxiway Juliet 7 Kilo 7 cross runway 0, 2 Kilo 6 Kilo 5, Kilo 4 Kilo tree, Kilo 2 golf tree. Contact tower on 118.105
We'll wait for ATC to be over.
when ready.
Now you know you got your fixed rings as you go up here to the main panel.
Taxiing hold short runway 24 left, using taxiway Juliet 7 Kilo 7 cross runway 02 Kilo 6 Kilo 5, Kilo 4 Kilo tree, Kilo 2 golf tree, Mercair 7525 heavy.
Set that to plan.
Mercair 7525 heavy, hold position, caution other traffic.
Once you set the MFD, or they call the CDU, I guess.
Hold position Mercare 7525 heavy.
To plan, then you can step through the waypoints. So here's the step button. We're on page 1 of the waypoints. And we'll just page through till we get to Paris. And this is a good way to check and see if there's any discontinuities. So you can see the step moving down. FF501 is in the middle. And here comes our fixed rings. 30 miles out, 20 miles out, 10 miles out. And there's the runway, LFPG. And there she is. There's runway 9 in the center. So that's center. That's centered. And you can see where we are. Now, let's go ahead and put us back to the beginning. We'll come back up here. And we're going to set some other things. We're going to set terrain and position. And here we are in Barcelona on the tarmac. We'll be heading out. I think we're making a loop coming back to PERAL. That would be my guess. Okay, so kind of looks like it. Tower on. We can turn ATC off for now. And let's go ahead and start setting up some other stuff. We got legs in. We've got our route plugged in. There's our climb. There's our cruise. We're not going to set up a hold on this flight. Our descent information is already in. Let's go to the index and start working on takeoff. So we finished perf. We're in perf in it. Here's the N1 limit. And we're just going to set this up for standard climb. Then to take off. To do takeoff, first entry is flaps. It's pretty typical to set flaps to 5, so that's what we're going to do. So you click on 5 here. Enter it into flaps, and there she goes. You can see that it already gave us our V1, V2, V3 speeds. We're not going to do anything with that yet. Those look like they're pretty low, but that's pretty real. Pretty real for the simulator. Okay, good. Dog is passed out. Okay, now center of gravity. Once I enter this, this will give us our trim setting for takeoff. And then we're going to look for the runway length. So center of gravity, we just click on it. It's going to be 24.7. Then you paste that to the cut. Now you paste it back in. And you can see it gave me the trim setting of 4.64. So down to the trim wheels, 4.64. Let's zoom in. We're pretty much right there. So what you do is you position your mouse or whatever on the wheel and start turning it. 4.64, so a little bit more than 4.5. Could probably get a better view of this doing it another way, but that's pretty close right there. Okay, so that's our trim setting. We'll go through some of the safety checks on this flight. Okay, now, before I set...
Barcelona Tower, Boeing 633, 5 Heavy, 13 miles northeast inbound ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach. Boeing 633, 5 Heavy, Barcelona Tower. Altimeter 29.83, wind 219er at 6. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach.
29 or 83 is good to know. We should set
Cleared
that.
ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach, Boeing 6335 heavy.
I'm going to go ahead and set that right now, 2983. Let's double check over here. Yep, there it is, 2983. How do you set it? Main panel. Altimeter setting is right here. It'll show up right here. Here's 2983. And we just set it with this. Standard is pushed after 18,000 feet. We can also set the baro in a minute, so let's click that over to baro. That's going to be our minimums. And back down here where we were. So I was saying takeoff speeds, V1, rotate V2. We don't do that yet. I wait till I go to the second page first and I make sure this is all entered. Runway wind. Probably quicker if I go the other way. Kind of in the middle. Runway wind is going to be 220 at 6. So 6 knots coming from 220. 220/6. And again, we got that from our... Could have just done this, I guess. I can't do it from there. Got that from our EFB pad. 220 at 6 goes there. I'm going to put 1% on the grade on the runway. Now let's go take a look at page 1. We can enter in takeoff speeds. Takeoff weight shows 141.
Boeing 6335 heavy, wind 219er at 6. Cleared to land runway 24 left.
And we're good, we're able to take 170.
Cleared to land runway 24 left, Boeing 6335 heavy.
We're able to take 175 max takeoff weight, so we're good there. And now, let's get the runway length. How do we do that? Well, that's how you do it on this plane. This is the PMDG 737-800. PMG 737-8. So how do we get that? We go to charts in the EFB, which is right here. You notice this is the flight plan. This is charts. And we're going to want to get takeoff, departure from Barcelona, go to airport. We're not going to read all the briefings. You could go through the briefings if you wanted to. We're not doing that. Restrictions. We're just going to fly. And we know that we're going to be using 24 left. So 24 left is right here. We are right here. Taxiing is going to be interesting. I'm going to try to go this way. But anyways, 24 left has a heading of 244 and it's 8,700 feet. Heading 244. That's where we set the runway heading. And what did we say? 8,700 feet. 87. Runway 24. It's kind of short, so hopefully we're going to get up in time. So now we have the runway length, and again we got that from the EFB pad. Which we can't see from this particular camera setting. And that's good to go. Takeoff is set. Page 1, page 2. Back to the index now. Let's put in the approach. Here's some interesting information we can see. These are our approach speeds per various flap settings. We're going to choose flaps 30, so I click on it. There's flaps 30, 147. That's our expected landing speed in Paris. And we enter it here. let's go ahead and set our ILS settings and our course
Barcelona
84.
Tower, Boeing 6028 Heavy 13 miles northeast inbound ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach. Boeing 6028 Heavy Barcelona Tower. Altimeter 29.8 tree, wind 219er at 6. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach.
Easy to set up the ILS settings for arrival.
Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach, Boeing 6028 Heavy.
Sorry for the ATC chatter. ILS settings for arrival 109.35, course 84. I think we already put the 84. No, we didn't put the 84, so let's go ahead and put 84 in. This is our course for arrival. 84. And we're going to put it on both sides. The co-pilot as well. And then we said 109.35 for the nav setting for the ILS nav. And here's the nav radio. 109.35. I should have just done that. And we'll put it on the standby side. 109.35. And that'll be ready when we're ready to use it. We're going to click over here and transfer it to active. (109.35). Welcome, simmers, if you're watching. If you're not, that's okay too. You can view this on YouTube at alblock7267, alblock7267. And occasionally I'll put some of my original music on it, but we're really working on settings, so we're not going to do that today. Let's get our arrival information. And we'll do it over here too. So let's go to
Boeing 6028 Heavy, wind
arrival.
219er at 6.
In the
Clear
charts.
to land runway 24 left.
Going to check the charts. So we're in Navigraph charts here.
Clear
Arrival,
to land runway 24 left, Boeing 6028 Heavy.
approach. And we're expecting 9 left. Here's ILS 9 left, so let's pin it so we can always come back to it. And here's our Jepson arrival charts. You can see there's our course that we already set. (84). (109.35). That's our ILS entry point there. We can see that ILS entry for Paris is 4,000 feet. That's how you can tell, it's right there. On my iPad with SimBrief, I can use a marker pen and circle these things. Okay, that's our approach at 84 degrees. That's the ILS frequency. You'll also see it up here. That's your frequency, that's your approach. 115.35. Not sure what that is. I think that's the airport. Maybe it's radar. Don't know. Anyways, that's how you find it. And how do we want to know our decision altitudes and the runway altitude? Runway's 378 feet. Decision altitude is 578. So 578 and 378. Let's go ahead and set those. Barrow. There's our baro setting at 578. So that's our minimums. We'll get a minimum call out once we hit 578. And then we know that our minimum pressure is going to be 300, or let's just call it 300. Yeah, it's 378. We can call it 350. So we know that we're going to set, if we need to, we can set our altitude at 350 for the final approach. And we may do that today. It's one way of doing it. Alright, so we're all set up there. Our approach is set. We'll be using 30 degrees on the flaps, which is almost full, and we should be expecting 147 knots at the time that we arrive. Now let's go up and start doing some safety check. Let's get our window probe heats all set. I could probably wait till I get the plane off of ground power. Lower fuel pump 1. Turn on yaw damper. Emergencies armed. Chime test. Seat belts. Auto. I believe by now that we've been boarded, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Menu. Actions. We've got 80 passengers. We can release the stairs. Looks like the flight crew's already closed the door. And you can see we still have ground power attached. There's our ground power. Beautiful sunny day, except it's night in Barcelona. Here's our taxi ribbons, so we're going to push out and go. Wow. I guess we're going to go nose left. Okay. That's done. Passengers are boarded. Doors are already closed. They return. Let's go back to the menu. And we'll start running through some of these other things. Let's go ahead and get off the ground power now. So first thing we're going to do to get off of ground power is we're going to turn on the APU. And as the APU fires up, you're going to watch this gauge. That's going to come up and then come back down. And then our APU gens are going to light up. And the low pressure light will go off. So we're firing up the auxiliary power unit right now.
Barcelona Tower, Ryanair 866 Heavy 13 miles northeast inbound ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach. Ryanair 866 Heavy, Barcelona Tower. Altimeter 29.83, wind 219 at 6. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach.
Dog woke up.
Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach Ryanair 866 Heavy.
He's my co-pilot. Alright, APU just came back down. You can see our gens are on, so now we can turn this off. That will effectively disconnect the ground power once I do that. Or I can go up on top and do it, but watch what happens. So if I go back here to the menu and we go to ground services, you can see ground power release. We can release the ground power from here, or we can turn it off from here. Well, maybe not. Okay, now we can. Ground power is disconnecting. Disconnected. You can hear the APUs running. We're all clear there. Continue with our setup. Now that we have APU running, let's go ahead and start turning some stuff on. Leave those on first. Cabin. Cabin air. We're not turning on packs yet. We're not turning on the bleed yet until we start moving, until we start firing it up. Okay, so we're good to go here.
Ryanair 866 Heavy, wind 219er at 6.
Let's do a fire safety
Clear
check.
to land runway 24 left.
Fire safety
Clear
check
to land
1.
runway 24 left, Ryanair 866 Heavy.
All good. Down to the pedestal. Let's set our transponder.
Barcelona Tower, Austrian Tree 9er Tree Heavy 1 tree miles northeast inbound ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach. Austrian Tree 9er Tree Heavy, Barcelona Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 8 tree, wind 219er at 6. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach.
We're set to transponder now. We'll turn this over
Cleared
to...
ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach, Austrian Tree 9er Tree Heavy.
God, that's annoying. We'll turn it over to TCAS in a minute. All set there. Let's get the FMC lights on. Floor lights on. Light door. That's in op. Stabilizer, trim, cover close. We're not going through the official checklist, as you can tell. I'm just kind of haphazarding it. Flaps are set to 0. We're not going to turn those. We're not going to move those yet. Okay, now at this point, we're going to go ahead and get the APU bleed going and start to fire this baby up. Ready to do that. So APU bleed is now on and armed. And I'm going to request pushback. And we want nose left. So standard left, turn left, 90 degrees. We'll select their PMDG tug.
Cockpit
Start.
to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our right.
Engine 2 to ground.
Copy that. Ready for push tail right. Release brake, please.
Release park brakes.
Brakes released.
And now that we have engine to ground, we can see movement here.
Austrian Tree 9er Tree Heavy, wind 219er
And
at
at
6.
2, we're going to add fuel.
Cleared to land runway 24 left.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Here's where we add fuel. Now you'll start to see the guys move
Cleared
up
to
here.
land runway 24
Engine
left.
2 is
Austrian
firing
Tree
up.
9er Tree Heavy.
Engine 2 on the other side. I'm sorry, this one is firing up. I've got the graphics set medium, not high, just because of performance issues with OBS. And we can see that that switch turned off, so that engine is now operational. Now we're going to turn on engine 1 to GND. And when that hits 2 or thereabouts, we're going to add fuel. Fuel's added. There's our fuel count. Total 25 tons.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Set parking brakes.
Brake set.
That's back down to where it's supposed to be. Engines are both on and running. Let's flip to continuous. Now we can start turning on lights.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slip release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
Let's go ahead and light it up like a Christmas tree for takeoff. And let's add all the fuel pumps now. We can also turn these guys off. APU bleed off. ISO valve closed or off. Packs on. Window probes on. Probe heat on. Voice recorder on. Panel brightness up. Circuit breaker up. And it looks to me like we are ready to rock and roll. Now, let's get the final panel check here. 244 is our runway heading. We have a takeoff speed. .136. Oops, went past it. And we have our course for approach, transition altitude. So now we're going to turn on the main panel. Flight Director 1 on first. Auto thrust on. Flight Director 2 on. LNAV on. BNAV on. Hearing things. Could have been the dog. We want to set this to RTO, rejected takeoff. And now we can do our check of the control surfaces. Switch that to system. And we got rudder left, rudder right. Stabilizer up and down. Flaps left, flaps right. Now we can set our flaps since we're clear of any ground equipment. Let's set this to 5. Third one down. And we can arm the speed brake. Speed brake is armed. Verify takeoff speeds at 136. Let's take a look. It's asking us to verify. That's what it is. Well, maybe I want it at 142. I'm going to leave it at 136. Let's get this set back and check the performance on the engine. Oil pressure good, oil temperature good, oil quantity good. Looks pretty good. N1 at 60. Everything's nominal. We are ready to roll. Okay, folks. Let's go ahead and taxi out. If you're watching this, this is our engine speed, engine, it's like a tachometer, engine power. Should be rolling by now. We just had to release the brakes. No traffic. Okay, folks, let's hope for a successful flight today. About hour and 50-minute flight time. Sorry, hour and 21 minutes. We'll do a toga takeoff. I use this screw head for centering. Check it. Yeah, pretty good. It's a fairly long taxi out. I'll leave the time set for daytime for the takeoff. Lower the throttle a little bit. Rudder. Well, that's a sharp turn they want us to make here. That's bullshit. Typical freaking European airport bullshit.
Barcelona Tower, Boeing 8480, heavy at runway 24 left, ready for departure IFR to Porto. Boeing 8480 heavy, altimeter 29.85, wind 219 at 5. Cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left. Cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left, Boeing 8480 heavy.
Okay, tracking 24 left on SimBrief, Navigraph charts. As you can see by the taxi ribbons, I like to use these. It makes it a lot easier than trying to figure out and read and interpret their charts for the airport and which taxiways to go. If we had a lot of time, I would do that, but I don't like to do that. So just for ease, for sake of ease.
Boeing 8480 heavy, contact Barcelona Center on 119.45. Good day.
See, our centering is working pretty good.
119.45, Boeing 8480 heavy. Goodbye.
pretty close to where it needs to be. Alright, we are approaching the runway. Flight simulator, once I pull up to the runway at the stop point, the hold point, it will contact traffic control. So we're looking at the incoming route. There's nothing incoming at the moment. And we're going to set our TCAS. So while we're waiting, we'll set our TCAS.
Barcelona Tower ALB 5510 ready for departure to the north at runway 24 left.
ALB 5510, wind 219er at 5. Departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 24 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 24 left ALB 5510.
TCAS passed. We have takeoff clearance. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Al Block 7267 on YouTube.
Barcelona Tower, Boeing 6343 Heavy 13 miles northeast, inbound ILS Yankee runway 24
Al Block
left
on
approach.
Facebook.
Boeing 6343 Heavy, Barcelona Tower. Altimeter 29.85, wind 219er at 5. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach. Cleared
Overshot.
ILS Yankee runway 24 left approach, Boeing 6343 Heavy.
Shot the taxi onto the runway here. Missed it a little bit. Sloppy entrance. But here we go. So, engines to 40 plus 1. And then toga, what you can do here, hit the screw. I'm not hearing the toga alarm, but okay.
knots.
Keep her centered if you can.
V1.
V1 rotate. Ease it up.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Flaps up.
ALB 5510, continue for north departure.
Looks like we have a quick
ALB
turn out.
5510, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
And we'll put on autopilot.
Barcelona Tower ALB 5510 continue for north departure.
The jet fumes. Very cool. The jumpiness is me, it's not the frames, it's how much I'm moving the mouse. So we're on ascent
Boeing 6343 Heavy, wind 219er at 5.
out of Barcelona.
Clear to land runway 24 left. Clear to land runway 24 left, Boeing 6343 Heavy.
Looks like we're tracking pretty good, 6,000. I'll flip this over here. Our transition coming up pretty quick, so we're going to move this up. You can see it coming along right here. Altitude setting 370. There it is. On the PFD, a primary flight display. There's our turn. See, flaps are up. Gear is stowed. Exiting Barcelona. All systems are nominal. Now let's go back in and make sure everything's going right. All the pumps are on. And so we should be taking fuel from center pump. So these are 859, 860, and this one is depleting. Center pumps are controlled right here. Here's all the fuel pumps. The yaw damper is on. All the electrics are on properly. Everything looks pretty smooth here. Recirculate fans are on auto. Packs are on auto. APU bleed is off. Looking good. Nothing to fool around with up there. Now, one thing I like to do right now, as we're looking at the progress, we're coming up on BL 802 waypoint. Let's go to legs. And 2.3 nautical miles. And we'll switch this to progress. Everything good here for engine systems. And as I was about to say, one thing we like to do now is take it off rejected takeoff, and I set this for our landing. That should be adequate on the automatic, on the auto brakes at 2. Big turn, and we're going to be coming back over Barcelona here pretty quick. Give you an idea of the geophotometry used in Flight Simulator. 2024 is coming out, and it's going to be 100 times better than this. Hopefully up to date. When I fly over my house, it's still in the desert. My house doesn't exist yet. Nice turn. Steady climb to 370. Let's check our speed. 96.582. Yeah, we're just about right. I don't know what this is. Unable 300 knots at Lumen. Unable 300 at Lumen. Let's go ahead and change Lumen. It doesn't want 300. It wants less. 272. Yeah, let's change that to 272. Enter 272 there, then slash, and we'll put it in Lumen. Execute it. next page. Roman is at 300. I'm surprised it's not giving me a message about Roman. It's like 20,000 feet is our stopover point, but it said 6,000 in the flight plan. We're just going straight up. Where are we? I'm not looking at YouTube today, folks, so this is an OBS test. I won't see any chats coming in. Let's go full page.
With Air 1705 Heavy, acknowledge last transmission. With Air 1705 Heavy, follow the aircraft on final.
And that's where we
With
are.
219er at 5. Clear to land runway 24 left. Clear to land runway 24 left with Air 1705 Heavy. Barcelona Tower, Easy 4212 Heavy, ready for IFR departure, runway 24 left. Easy 4212 Heavy, hold short, runway 24 left.
Heading 352 right now. We'll change it on here. Try to keep up on that here as much as we can. Plane will fly its heading, its prescribed heading anyway.
Hold short, runway 24 left, Easy 4212 Heavy.
But you're supposed to match this up. So we're on N1 for speed, VNAV active, LNAV active. Command 1, which is autopilot, is pressed. This is the disengage the autopilot. If we wanted to go manual, we could do vertical speed and altitude holds right here. So you'd set the altitude, or we could hold it at whatever altitude we're currently at, whatever you want to do. I just let it run automatically. Vertical speed is set here. Up on the wheel is up, down on the wheel is down. Excuse me, vice versa. When I go up, you roll it down. See, we're 49 miles to our next waypoint. 49.4.
Easy 4212 Heavy, altimeter 29.86, wind 204 at tree.
That's our progress.
Cleared for takeoff.
93 nautical miles to top of climb. If you wanted to see that, you could roll out the range right here.
4212 Heavy.
So 100. There's our top of climb. Keep it set to about 4. Yeah, we could set it there. You can see that it was set for our next waypoint. As the system is calculating at Okabe. We need to be at 331 at Okabe. Already past 200. Or 200. You want us to be at 200. We're above. We should have set this to 200. So we're actually ascending too quick. Burning more fuel than we're supposed to. There's a reason why they're in purple, I guess. amazing. Righty right, folks. So here we are. OBS test running. Looks to be okay. I'm hearing that the audio is good. I would have to listen myself, but I can't really tell. I'll play it back later and listen. I'm hoping the mic settings are where they need to be. Once again, thanks to Robbie Rico at Tascam for
Barcelona Center ALB 5510 flight level 290.
ALB 5510 Barcelona Center radar contact continue.
Robbie Rico at Tascam
Barcelona
for the
Center
assist.
ALB 5510 is type Boeing
Sorry, Robbie.
73710 miles southeast of Lima Echo Sierra Uniform flight level 295. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
ALB 5510 Barcelona Center. Squawk tree 453.
Squawk tree 453 ALB 5510.
ALB 5510 radar contact 7 miles southeast of Lima Echo Sierra Uniform flight level 300. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
3453 is our squawk right down
Cleared
there.
through the Charlie airspace ALB 5510.
ATC communications frequencies change automatically. This is our nav frequency for ILS arrival. As I was saying, thanks to Robbie at Tascam for his support with the Tascam Model 24, installing the Tascam Model Mixer app, which connects my laptop directly to, and by the way, this is streaming on a laptop, directly to the board, and allows this OBS functionality for audio. We were having some difficulties actually over the last year and a half or more. Could not figure out what the problem was. So once again, thanks to Robbie and the staff at Tascam for their support. They're really good. When you call them up, they pick up after they get the message. They call you pretty quickly, and they work you all through whatever situation. Nobody's really been able to work on the streaming aspect of this on the Tascam Model 24, but Robbie knew exactly what to do, and he actually opened up OBS on his side to help me get the proper settings. I'm not using any of the filters, so this is just raw mic through the board with a little bit of reverb on it, I think. I could probably add more. Add just a little more. And looks like the levels are good when I watch it on the monitors. We are streaming on OBS, or through OBS, restream to YouTube, AlBlock 7267. So if you'd like, go to AlBlock 7267 to watch this, and you can watch it in 1080 high definition.
ALB 5510 contact Bordeaux Center on 121.25.
I'll have the co-pilot answer.
Good day.
121.25 ALB 5510.
And you can
Goodbye.
also watch it on Facebook
Bordeaux
if it's
Center
functioning.
ALB
Sometimes it doesn't.
5510 flight level 325.
ALB 5510 Bordeaux Center radar contact continue.
A couple other thank yous to go out there. One of the people that helps me quite a bit, or has helped me in the past quite a bit, get to this stage of my simming, which is not as good as many. There's a lot of good flight simulator guys out there. A few to mention, actually. It's one of them is Pilot Cube. He's really good. But the big one is Flight Streamer. I don't know his real name. I do know his real name, but I'm not going to say it. That's what he goes under on his stream, Flight Streamer. And he's been real good about getting me hooked up on the various things pertaining to the A320 Phoenix mod. Questions regarding how to set up the MCDU, multifunction computer display unit. I think it's called FMC on the Boeing. So the A320 assist from him, and then of course that gave me a lot of insight in what to do with the Boeings. The Boeing is nothing like the Airbus. Boeing 737, you have to work at all of this stuff. In the Airbus, you program everything in, and you hit go, and the aircraft does what it's supposed to do. The only thing you do is you hit up or down here on the altitude knobs. It would be a straight up and down arrow on the Airbus. But the Phoenix is very detailed. Just like this one, this is what's considered study level flight simulator. I am by no means a pilot, although I have figured out a lot of this stuff all by myself and with the help of people like Flight Streamer. In the Phoenix Discord, I have run into several sim streamers or simulator people on Discord that are literally assholes. They're arrogant. Some of them are pilots. Some of them are intolerant of people not knowing. But what they need to realize is Flight Simulator is something that anybody can buy. You don't have to be a pilot to buy it and use it.
Traffic.
Oh, good. There's a traffic alert. Let's take a look. There he is on our left.
Bordeaux Center, easy 2326
11,000
heavy,
feet
and
above
flight
us on the
level
left.
350 descending 6,100 feet. Easy 2326 heavy, Bordeaux Center, radar contact. Continue to undug.
Well, I don't see him. That was cool to get a traffic alert out of the traffic alert system, TCAS. I always forget that it's TCAS and not ACAS. So we had a little traffic alert right there. But anyways, so back to what I was saying regarding the streaming community. There are a few people on the Phoenix Discord that are very cool. I won't name any names. There's a girl on there who's been on there. She's been on for quite a while and very helpful. And a couple of guys that are really helpful. But there's a couple of pilots on there that are just freaking assholes. They're just assholes. No mercy. Like, if you don't know how to fly, why are you on Flight Simulator? You know what? Screw you. Screw you. Every one of you. Everyone who thinks like that. You must be a Democrat. So, that being said, I have not actually entered PMDG Discord community other than to ask questions, and you're immediately redirected to the help section under PMDG, the tech support. Nobody will answer you. They just refer you. They tell you just go to the support portion. 352 is our current heading, so we're still good. So anyways, if you're beginning Flight Streamer or Flight Simulator Streamer or Flight Simulator Novice, when I do these streams, it's generally I try to point out what I'm doing, and of course I may be doing a couple things wrong, but I'm trying to point out some ways that you can do it, give you instructional on the biggest issue to learn, which is right here. Okay? That's the biggest issue. Multifunction displays. The primary flight displays and multifunction displays. This is really the FMC, or what they call an MCDU in the Airbus. The flight management computer, or the flight computer. And this is really the biggest thing to learn. So Anybody who sees, if they have any questions, please feel free to reach out, like, share, and follow. You can message me on Facebook. You can leave chat info on YouTube. And if you have questions about how to deal with these things in the MCDU, I've kind of figured a lot of it out. Not all of it, but enough to make it enjoyable. And that's the whole key, making it enjoyable. So, we are at 370. Our next stop will be back down at 280. So our top of descent will be in 225 nautical miles, and there it is on the progress screen. How do you get to the progress screen? Right here. That's your progress screen button. So you'll be on FMC first in the menu, FMC, then progress. And here we can see our current waypoint en route. The next one in purple, 221 nautical miles to the top of descent. And so be somewhere between now and the top of descent. We want to enter in, 28,000. 280 would be 28,000. When they call it out, they call out 280.
Easy tree, 82 tree heavy. Your tree, 6 miles northeast.
We could actually set that now.
8,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 left approach.
I like to
Via
set it.
FUSAP transition.
Ooh, sorry.
Clear to FUSAP.
Mic accident. I like to set it
Easy
in
tree,
advance
82 tree heavy. You are tree 4 miles northeast.
once we reach altitude. Now, one thing we can also do is
8,000 feet.
we
Expect
can set
ILS
altimeter.
runway 14 left approach via FUSAP transition. Clear to FUSAP.
We'll wait for ATC to stop talking.
ALB 5510 traffic is 1 o'clock 3 miles at flight level tree niner 0 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
ALB 5510 traffic in sight.
I'm glad she sees it. I don't see it.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 14 left approach via FUSAP transition. Clear to FUSAP Easy Tree 82 tree heavy.
We had a TCAS warning, but it wasn't on the screen. That's okay. Co-pilot handled it. So anyway, at 370, my buddy, who's a Gulfstream pilot, let's set this to 345, has advised me that over 18,000 feet we should set altimeter to standard. So watch what happens when I do that. It'll make everything jump. Oh, it didn't make everything jump. Okay. Well, we're set at standard now. You can see it right here. And we're over 18,000 feet. So now we're gonna go ahead and set the altimeter or the altitude now to the next stopping point on the transition at 280. So let's do that now. I like to do it in advance so we don't forget. And it won't change anything. It won't change anything until the flight system tells it to change, or the autopilot. And if it doesn't, you just click on the button right here. That's intervention, altitude intervention. So we are currently set for the next descent altitude. And you can see that when I did that, it really didn't affect this, although that's weird that it's moving. But yeah, it's still at 37,000. We're still at 370. What else can we show? Different functions for the primary flight displays. So currently this is in the map function, and you can control the range right here. Shows our entire route. Or you can go to plan and change the range. Zoom it out until you see where the plane is. There we are, just coming into that screen. That's all of our waypoints. We can zoom that back out. We'll leave this one on plan, and this one on terrain, and map. Now there's other settings you can go to on there, but we won't, not today. This is the toga button, which is for some reason hard to reach when I'm doing takeoff, so I just use the toga button. If you use toga, you don't have to, but there it is. If you touch this little screw head, it does the same thing as touching that button right there. Then to disengage your auto throttle, you can push that button right there, if you can figure out how to get to it. So, flaps are up, speed brake is armed, and depending on what kind of throttle system you have for your flight simulator. I use the HOTUS Thrustmaster, and the throttle side has a button in the rear which activates the speed brake. You can set those all up yourself in the system. I have reverse thrust set on my number 2 axis on the joystick. So there's a joystick and a throttle. Should probably show it. Joystick and throttle. Pretty bright behind me. Anyway, let's see where we are. 168 miles to top of descent, so we're just on a cruise mode at this point. System's automatically throttled to 91%. I like to check on the pressures and the temperatures once in a while just to make sure there's no faults. Of course, I don't have any faults set in the system. So we shouldn't get any unless I screw up by pushing something the wrong way, which I've done a million times. Heading 345, which means we're almost due north. 15 degrees off of due north. Wow, looks like we are substantially off the flight plan.
ALB 5510, contact Bordeaux Center on 124.05. Good day.
Going to 124.05 ALB 5510. Bordeaux Center ALB 5510 flight level 370.
ALB 5510, Bordeaux Center radar contact, continue.
I was flying on the wrong SimBrief plan. Previous plan from yesterday or the day before going south. Now it's correct. .268 miles, nautical miles from destination. So roughly about another 45 minutes or so till we pull up to a gate. Top of descent. I like to keep on checking that. 151 miles to go. Guess we can zoom this one out so that it shows that somewhat. Let's see, we're tracking to our next waypoint. 109 miles to POI. POI, which interestingly enough in the auto industry means point of impact. Not a popular term in an aircraft. Let's go have a look around the plane a little bit. Let's do some camera stuff. Showcase. Can't get this off the screen. Sorry about that, folks. I can move it over a little bit though. External 1 and 2 is wing shot, engine shot, right and left. You can see the detail on that though. Look at that. Cowlings are all scratched up. Every now and then you'll see the wings bounce, like there. The sharklets. Underbelly looking back. We're going to be doing a right turn coming in. So we'll leave that set on right turn there. Actually, let's go back to 5. What's better, 3 or 5? 5 is better. Now we'll minimize that now. And we should actually go to our actual time. Let's do that. That's our actual time. How to this is something I had to figure out, how to control the lighting on the FMC. And the knob for that is right down here. Just scroll it up and down, you can see that it gets brighter. This is a floodlight. Okay, if you want armrests, there's your armrest. Look at the detail on the armrest. So dark. Okay, so first of all, main panel, background light, outer primary flight display, inner,
Iberia tree 1 heavy contact Bordeaux center on 125 decimal tree. Good day.
Yeah, that's a little better. Check our lighting now, see what we got going on. So we don't need this on anymore. We can turn it back on when we're ready to land. Or we can leave them on. Whatever. These actually function. So we're functioning pretty nicely on autopilot. LNAV functioning, VNAV functioning. So L.
510, contact Bordeaux Center on
Every time I start to talk, ATC reaches out.
Good day.
Going to 130
right at the same time.
Niner ALB 5510.
There's an
Bordeaux Center ALB
aircraft in front of us.
5510, flight level 370.
ALB 5510 Bordeaux Center radar contact continue.
And I'm surprised TCAS didn't pick it up. There it is. Pretty close. On the left side. Yeah, that's weird how TCAS didn't pick that up. I forgot what I started to say before ATC interrupted. Oh yeah, LNAV and VNAV. LNAV is the linear navigation, so anything having to do with our direction. VNAV is the up and down. So this is connecting us to whatever's programmed in when they're both on, or either one. VNAV would be hooked into our altitudes and our speed.
For heavy traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 Airbus
And of course,
report them
the
inside.
LNAV is reading off of the waypoints programmed in.
Heavy traffic is 5 o'clock 4 miles at flight level tree 80 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Ryanair 5884 heavy traffic in sight.
They're having all the fun. I'm not seeing anything on ATC.
Magic Sun 9er 17 heavy traffic in sight.
Of course, I have the traffic boxes off. You can identify the aircraft with a box. It's just obnoxious to see them all over your screen. Alrighty, we're moving along. Moving along like a herd of buffalo. 43 miles to top of descent. Let's see how this goes. We're going to count it down. Countdown to top of descent on your top 40. I could play some of the Albee tunes on SoundCloud over this feed, but I'll save it for next time. I don't want to eat up all the processing. It'll hurt the frame rate. Here's a nice little banky poo. Heading change. Heading change now. 10-ish. Settled on 11. Oh, 12, okay. And you don't really need to do that. It's a good habit. It should be about 40 miles or 35 miles an hour. Got 30. So once we get to top of descent, it should be coming up here. Let's take a look here. Does it show it to us? Yeah, there's TD right there. Here we are, there's top of descent. So we'll pass the P-PAX waypoint, and then we'll be on the way down. You see P-PAX is the last one at 370. And the system will automatically take us down. We're set for 280. It would probably take us down to that anyway. But with the Boeing, I think you have to set it. This guy's awful close. This is how you take the brightness off. That's the third altimeter. The altimeter is set automatically for both sides when you set it over here or over here. Heading 11. There's some traffic out there, but it's not telling us about it. Interesting. We're about 12 miles or 10 miles to top of descent. About 9.2. 9.0. As you can tell here, that's
ALB
10-mile ring.
5510, you're leading my airspace radar service, terminated squawk 7000. Frequency change approved.
Little Bank, 59.
Magic Sun 9er 17 heavy contact Paris Center on 119.825. Good day.
Squawk 7000. Frequency change approved ALB 5510. Paris Center ALB 5510 is type Boeing 737 miles west of Lima Foxtrot Juliet Tango flight level 370. Request flight following.
ALB
Let's see if it takes it down with the altimeter set on standard.
Squawk tree 076. Paris Center Magic Sun 9er 17 heavy
And
is
here we
passing
go.
flight level 365, climbing flight level 370.
This should start
Magic
to
Sun
move.
9er 17 heavy Paris Center radar contact. Continue to COSEX.
Squawk tree 076 ALB
There she goes.
5510.
ALB 5510 radar contact, 12 miles west of Lima Foxtrot Echo, November flight, level 370.
We're going to set our next to
4,000. Heavy traffic is
4,000.
3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 380 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Roger ALB 5510.
See it throttled all the way down automatically. You can also monitor our descent right here in terms of are we on track.
Magic Sun 9er
Currently
17
2,700
heavy
feet per
contact
minute.
Paris Center on 125.7. Good day.
So we want to make it to 32,700 by Nimmer, which is 5 miles. And you can see that we're set at 272 on the speed. Oh, we're a little fast. We could use the air brake and slow that down a little bit. Yeah, 272 a little fast still. So 30.
Traffic.
There's traffic right there.
ALB 5510 traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 330 Airbus A20N.
That's 2 o'clock.
Report them in sight.
ALB 5510 traffic in sight.
So 280 and 13 miles. We're not even watching out the windows. Speed's about right. .272 knots, that's about 300 miles an hour. I take that back. It's 185 miles an hour. So miles per hour is less. Okay, well that was our mark for 28,000. Now we're going to push this down. I'm going to set this for top of ILS. A little below. And since I caught it before we reached 28,000, it kept it going automatically. See, there's our new altitude setting, 3,900. LNAV engaged, VNAV engaged, flight management computer involved. This is projecting our course and changes automatically. So now we're on a course heading 35,036. So you're throttling up. For some reason it wants us to get up to 300. Okay, again for the hat, thanks. It's not a MAGA hat, by the way, it's a TKB hat. I know because it's red. Don't think it's a MAGA hat, although I am in favor of that fellow. This is a TKB hat for the Kids Bakery on Golf Center in India. No, I'm not advertising them, but I'm just giving them a shout out since I'm wearing their hat. I should call him and let him know I'm doing it. I may do that next time. I'm not seeing us on the Facebook stream, so I know it's on YouTube though. And how are we progressing here? Let's have a look. Still right on track. We want to be at 206. Romgo. Yeah, I think we'll make it. Speed is about right. Heading is 34. .84 nautical miles to destination. So we're about ready to wrap the stream up, folks. If you've been with us for this whole time, thanks for joining. If not, I'm pretty sure there's not too many people watching this stream, but I always thank anybody just in case they are. And if you are, please like, share, and follow, and all that good stuff. It's on YouTube, which you can watch in high def of 1080p. On Al Block 7267 on YouTube. Al Block 7267 on YouTube. And Facebook, for some reason, the feed is not working. So I got to go with the engineer on that. Maybe I'll just switch it over to Twitch and screw Facebook. I'm getting tired of Facebook anyway. Too many damn liberals on Facebook. Now we have another course change. We can see that out the window. Yes, we can. We're still tracking rather nicely. And we made the 20,000 goal. Now we're looking for 190 for 3 miles.
ALB 5510, contact Paris Center on 125.7. Good day.
Looks like we're going to make the 190.
Going to 125.7 ALB 5510.
See, we're throttled back to 63%.
Paris Center ALB 5510, flight level 190.
There you go.
ALB 5510, Paris Center radar contact, continue.
So we are set at the top of ILS, and it's bringing us down according to the flight plan. What I'm going to do once we get to there is I'm going to switch it. Unable to make 300 knots at Banos. Okay. That's okay. So, once we get there, I'm going to switch it over to the actual runway altitude. 378. Once we reach ILS, just in case, it should autopilot it all the way in. But Barcelona was a pain in the ass, and I don't trust Europe. Plus, I don't think I have the world updates for Europe. Sounds like it's raining.
Air Portugal 439er, heavy contact Paris Center on 119.825.
It's raining.
Good day.
The windshield wipers don't do anything.
Going to 119.825 Air Portugal 439er, heavy.
Alright, we're looking for 16,000 feet by Nurki. And I think we just made it. And passed it. Now we're looking for 15,000 feet. And I think we'll make that one pretty easily too. But we should be slowing down. We should hit a decel. 15. Fuel light is on, that's okay. Center tanks are depleted. We can turn off the center tanks. Should have noticed that earlier. And we're going to put the runway lights on and the taxi lights on at this point. Since we're in the rain and the fog. Coming into Gay Paris. $50 miles out. Another little banky poo. Wow, raining pretty hard. Why is it up to 270? I really want it to be... Let's see, where's our top of...
Blowing 832 heavy. You are 48 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Expect ILS runway 07 approach via Odolo transition. Clear to Odolo. Blowing 832 heavy. You are 45 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Expect ILS runway 07 approach via Odolo transition. Clear to Odolo. ALB 5510 contact Villa approach on 119.425. Good day.
Going to 119.425 ALB 5510. Villa approach ALB 5510 11,000 feet.
ALB 5510 Villa approach altimeter 29.65 radar contact continue.
2965. Now let's take it off a standard. Since we're below anyway. Should have done that a while back also. So now IGO9L, that's the top of ILS. And we're 20 miles from that. Speed is too high. Drag required. And I don't mean address. missed that drag notice. We're in the 30-mile ring on the fix, as you can see. We've got 13 miles to make 4,000 feet. Throttles are all the way down. 65%. $11 miles. Two 965 altimeter. 10 miles to get 3,000 feet. Speed is too hot. I could use the gear to slow us down. We're not going to make the 4,000 feet. That's runway altitude, actually 350. Well, we may make it.
ALB 5510, contact de Gaulle, approach on 119.85. Good day.
Not likely we're going to get the 4,000 here.
Going to 119.85 ALB 5510. De Gaulle approach ALB 5510 5,000
Give her
feet.
some flaps.
ALB 5510 de Gaulle, approach altimeter 29.65 radar contact, continue.
Yeah, we may make it. Not really. Still have 11 miles. There's our course heading. We're almost ready to hit approach mode. Gear down. Flaps. Approach mode. Go to our flaps 30 like we had planned. Gear is down. Tends to get jumpy right here. And as you can see, we have flaps 30. Reading 9 miles.
2,500.
9 miles is accurate to sim brief. We have flaps. We can't see the runway yet. Visibility is poor. But if we look right here, you can see we're right on the ILS target. We're in the glide slope. So we have to rely on the accuracy of the glide slope. At 4 miles, we should be at 1,000. Lightning out there. And we get the stutters on the outside view.
Approaching minimums.
Well, we're going to miss the runway.
400.
Sync rate.
300.
Oh, we took the wrong runway.
200.
Sync rate. Pull up. Pull up.
20. 10.
Oh, that was rough. We were tracking to the wrong runway. I don't think we get credit for that. We'll find out in a minute.
Airport information.
Ground ALB 5510 taxi to the gate.
ALB 5510 taxi to Gate Victor 4 via taxiway Quebec, Tree Quebec, Quebec Bravo, Tree Bravo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, November 1 Alpha.
Yeah, wrong runway.
Taxiing to Gate Victor for via taxiway Quebec, Tree Quebec, Quebec Bravo, Tree Bravo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, November 1 Alpha ALB 5510.
We struggled to get to that runway. The other one wasn't lit up. That's bullshit. Fucking Europe. I hate flying in Europe. I've had nothing but problems with Paris and Barcelona. And it's going to be Le Mans style taxiing. Like 5 miles away. And our gate is half a mile away. Well, that was a rough landing, but it was a landing. It wasn't butter, that's for sure. Yeah, we ended up on right, 24 right. Now we're going to go off the runway into the mud. See all this Le Mans bullshit trying to get you in. Oh, this is such bullshit. I hate fucking France and Spain. Windshield wipers make any difference.
Ground Easy Tree 814 Heavy requesting pushback. Easy Tree 814 Heavy pushback request accepted.
Not a bit of difference. Come on, turn. Why isn't it turning? I hate France. Damn, I hate France. You gotta come to a stop before you make a turn. All of their taxiways are a zigzag. Well past my lunch limit, that's for sure. Well, anyways, this was an audio test more than anything else today for OBS audio, for the vocal mic and the gain levels. I'll be doing a little review after this on an iPad. See how it came out. Maybe I'll put it up on the big screen in the living room. On YouTube. Look at this turn you gotta make to get in. This is just ridiculous bullshit. The people who laid out this airport are just morons. They're just morons. French civil engineers. It'll be a 90-degree turn into the gate. I'd be surprised if there's a gate or a marshal. I'll be surprised. That's the main terminal right there on the right. I gotta put the brakes full on. Brakes full on in order to make the turn. Unbelievable. like they were drinking wine when they laid this airport out. I know I'm whining. Miraculous straight in taxi in. Marshall? No Marshall. Jumpy. Brakes engaged. Let's go ahead and request ground power unit. Chalk set. Ground power unit requested. Connecting. Let's go to Jetway. Let's request a Jetway. See if we get it. The Jetway's coming over. We have ground power, so we can turn the engines off. Ground power engaged. Let's just get the people off the plane. Let's turn off the fuel pumps too. Let's do that first. I'm glad I left the seatbelt sign on. It was pretty weatherish. Okay, as everybody's getting their baggage out of the overheads. Let's deboard. Doors open. Now it is. And they're starting to leave. 79. Wipers off. Start to shut down some of the systems. IRS off. I'll leave those lights on. And zero this out for the next guy. Okay, folks, well, as the passengers deplane, I think it was mostly successful except for the landing. God, the most important part was not successful, but okay, that's okay. It was, we landed. I'll find out in a moment if we got credit for the flight or if we landed in the wrong runway. I think we landed in the wrong runway because we couldn't see it. And I wasn't trusting the plane. The other runway wasn't lit up until it was almost too late. And I think we were supposed to be on 24 left, and I think we ended up on 24 right. Yeah, I think we ended up on 24 right. So that's not a good thing. We'll find out in a moment here. In fact, I'll show it. I'll show the log results after we shut down. To go. This is the fun part. So once again, special shout out to Robbie at Tascam. This is going to be over the streaming waves. So Robbie, if anybody needs help at Tascam, call Tascam Tech Support. Ask for Robbie. He's the guy. Tascam Model 24. It's the mixing board we use here in the studio. And apparently that worked great. I have my dogs here to visit right at the right moment. Alright, so we are 2 passengers left to deplane. Hang on, buddy, I'll be right with you. I'll be right there. And he knows it's lunchtime, so there we go. 0 passengers left. Let's go on up and shut off ground power. And we are done. Okay, we can shut this off. And let's go ahead and escape out. Back to main menu. And let's take a scary look at the profile. Get rid of the trash in the studio. You can hear all the noise. It'll be fun to listen back to this, and hopefully the audio is good. So here we are in the hangar. Let's first go ahead and check the profile. I don't think we got credit for this flight. Let's see if we got a landing out of it. Oh my god, we got a landing out of it. Well, that's good. We didn't deserve it. We landed on the wrong runway. But the test was the test, so there we go. She's a beauty. Once again, thanks for joining me. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. L Block 7267 on YouTube. L Block 7267. Like, join, share, yell, comment, shit, vote. If anybody ever watches this. And that's about it. So we're going to go ahead and exit out. Hope you all had fun. I did. Have a great day. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.